endings. We're going to talk about rappers, celebrities that didn't have the best endings in their life. This is the series called Unfortunate Endings to Good People. Yeah, I really hope you like the series. So today's video is about rapper XXXtentacion. So let's get on the video. The rapper XXXtentacion, also known as Jase Anfroy, was born in 1998 in January 23rd. He was and is one of the most influential rappers of our time. This rapper has not only had a #1 song in the last 10 years since Biggie Smalls, but he is one of the most influential rappers of our generation. I believe that the next rap generation, if you know that every rap generation changes in 2-3 years, in 2-3 years they will be a new rap generation that I believe will be affected by XXXtentacion, because those are the kids that are 14, 15 and they will grow. So you must believe that this rapper was hella influential. Weeknd, one of the most famous and most successful artists of our time, co-signed it XXXtentacion. One of the greatest lyricists of new school, known as Jermaine Cole, even talked about XXXtentacion, how XXXtentacion dissed them. And also, XXXtentacion is one of the only rappers to have this type of influence when he died. Now think about this. When XXXtentacion died, he's 20. When Tupac would die, I will tell you from not a storyteller, Google type of person that just searched up the person's name and everything for the video. No, I'm just gonna tell you how I found out about XXXtentacion. And I just started the video about influence just to show you how powerful he is, like when it comes to influence and all that shit. See, the first time I saw this rapper was in like 2017. I found out about that flow that the guy, some guys, like, you know, Drake stole XXXtentacion's flow and shit, and pretty much they started beefing, and that beefing escalated in fighting. When the XXXtentacion got released, he started mentioning Drake's mom. Then you know, since he was mentioning Drake, other rappers were just beefing with him just because he mentioned other all these rappers. Like, you know, he mentioned Drake, but other rappers were like, you know, like, let's start beefing with the guy and shit. Like Offset, he was like, who the fuck is XXXtentacion and shit. And then XXXtentacion fans exposed him and shit because he was wearing merchandise that was from XXXtentacion and shit. And pretty much 600 Breezy was beefing, but 600 Breezy got, you know, like 600 Breezy was beefing, but yeah, that guy got arrested and shit, so nothing really happened with them. But what happened with Offset and shit, they was beefing with Offset, and then XXXtentacion got fucking jumped and shit, pretty much. Yeah, that was the story about that. And then, yeah, he that had like the first interview and shit, he released a mixtape, you know what I'm saying, made the trafficking and shit, like, yeah. And then like summer of 2017, he released an album in the summer called 17. That was like the first album to sell like 89,000 first week and shit. It was just like crazy and shit. At first I didn't check the fucking album, but like I had some fucking shit that really fucked up my like moods and shit, and it was like 2018 start, and I just checked the album, and so I'm like, yo, that shit was dope. Like, even when I remember the song fuck love, man. I would still bump that shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was just a hit, man. So he was beefing with all these rappers, like Ski Mask, the Slum God was just like adding another person in the beef and shit. So pretty much that's what happened and shit. And then yeah, so he was becoming famous and shit. Everybody hated him, shit. But then, you know, he would get some praise for like getting a better album. But you must understand that 17, the album, was pretty crazy because nobody was expecting him to sell that much. Like, I didn't expect. Personally, I thought he would sell like 30 to 40,000 first week, which is like the best that he can get. Because I thought that because he's selling an album that is strictly only for depressed people, I didn't know that there were so many depressed people that actually want to listen to this album, and it was crazy. He sold 89,000 in an independent label, and it's just crazy. Yeah, and pretty much I just want to say, listen, this guy only then after when he died after Lil Peep died and shit. I remember he was like, everybody was attacking Lil Tracy, like even Lil Pump was attacking and shit. And pretty much what happened is he was like the only person that actually was defending Lil Tracy and shit. And it was like, it was back in the day when he like shaved off his eyebrow and everybody was memeing him and shit. And then pretty much what happened after that, he was like kind of like making new music or some shit. No, he had the witness tampering charges and shit, and he got like arrested and shit and all that fuck shit. And like, yeah, like he got arrested, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I was cool, I was fucking with him and shit. And then in January, I got some shit that really fucked me up. Like, I had shit that really just made me depressed and shit. I just didn't know where to fucking go, man. So pretty much what fucking happened and shit was that I just checked his album like 17 and shit. And listen, this song called Everybody Dies in Their Nightmares, I even added to the fucking soundtrack, and that shit is so fucking dope, man. Like, real shit. I want you to listen to that song, and it's just like, that's how he fucking changed me, because it's like the song is fucking dope and I can't fucking lie. So I really just checked the fucking song and shit because I don't give a fuck. Pretty much, yeah, that. And after that, like, he was having like women beater charges. Then he released his new album, The Sad. I was listening to one song, but I really couldn't have listened to it. I kind of can listen to it, but it's just like, I'm not in the sad vibes. But when I'm in the sad vibes, or like I'm really emotional and shit, and I'm stressful as fuck, I just want to listen to XXXtentacion. Like, just open the sad album and shit. And then let me just tell you how I found out that XXXtentacion died and shit. I was just scrolling through my timeline and shit. It was like 30 minutes after XXXtentacion got shot. There was a newsletter, XXXtentacion just got shot and shit. I was like, well, he's probably gonna survive. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought this rapper's gonna grow with us and shit, but what really happened is, fuck, he got shot. He really got fucking shot, man. And he really actually fucking died. But I was just like scrolling through group chats and shit, and trying to do all this bullshit, like trying to find like information, is he dead or not. But really, he fucking died and shit, and was like really fucked up, really fucked me up and shit. And pretty much, yeah, I mean, I was just so sad those 2 days, because I was like, damn, I just want like so many albums from this guy. Like, this guy is pretty dope as fuck. So I was like, shit, I don't know anyone that really I just want to listen to. Like, honestly, like, this guy can make aggressive music, sad music, and all that type of shit. But he got shot because of some celebrity bullshit. Yeah, I'm pretty much, yeah, I mean, Skins is probably coming out this fucking month, or I don't know, fucking next month. But it's like, it's pretty sad because it's probably one of the last albums that we will hear from him. Anyways, I just hope you really like this video. This is just my standpoint how I found it out about him. So anyways, thank you. See you in the next video, I guess. Subscribe and drop a like.